Perkembangan ilmu yang cepat didukung dengan kemajuan teknologi menciptakan ruang inovasi baru dalam pendidikan tinggi. Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika sebagai kampus digital kreatif terkemuka di Indonesia mengambil langkah cepat berinovasi dalam kegiatan pembelajaran di lingkungan kampusnya. Sehingga mutu dan kualitas pendidikan tinggi di kampus UBSI dapat dijangkau seluruh masyarakat untuk Indonesia maju. Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika yang berpusat dan kampus utama di Jakarta memiliki program studi di luar kampus utama seperti Bogor, Karawang, Cikampek, Sukabumi, Tasikmalaya, Tegal, Purwokerto, Yogyakarta, Surakarta, dan Pontianak. Menjadi universitas unggul di bidang ekonomi dan digital kreatif, Universitas BSI memiliki 5 fakultas. Fakultas Teknik dan Informatika, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, Fakultas Komunikasi dan Bahasa, Fakultas Hukum, Fakultas Ilmu Kesehatan. Keseriusan mengelola pendidikan tinggi melalui penjaminan mutu, dosen berkualifikasi, inovasi penelitian, serta kreativitas mahasiswa. Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika mendapatkan akreditasi unggul untuk program studi Sistem Informatika dan Teknologi Informasi oleh Infocom. Prestasi nasional UBSI dianugerah Dikti-Ristek di antaranya Proses perkuliahan dilakukan di kelas yang nyaman dengan akses poin yang berfungsi untuk melakukan presensi serta melihat materi perkuliahan secara online oleh mahasiswa dan dosen. Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika memiliki berbagai laboratorium dan pembelajaran di antaranya UBSI juga mempunyai banyak lokasi perpustakaan yang tersebar di seluruh kampus dengan koleksi buku hingga ribuan buku serta kemudahan proses peminjaman menjadikan perpustakaan Universitas BSI sebagai salah satu lokasi favorit mahasiswa BSI. Dalam mendukung pelayanan kemahasiswaan dan menjaga jaminan mutu, Universitas BSI memiliki beberapa biro di antaranya salah satu anak Universitas BSI yaitu memiliki beberapa fasilitas aula dan auditorium di berbagai lokasi dengan daya tampung hingga 300 orang. Universitas BSI juga memiliki convention center yang dapat menampung 4.000 orang serta memiliki 5 hall di dalamnya. Dalam mendukung praktek pariwisata dan perhotelan, UBSI memiliki wisma BSI yang berada di Jakarta dan Yogyakarta dengan total 90 kamar di Jakarta dan 8 kamar di Jakarta. Wisma BSI juga memiliki lab seperti sarana ibadah seperti musola dan masjid di mana Masjid Al-Fa berada di bumi Serpong Damai dapat menampung hingga 300 jemaah. Guna mendukung kegiatan non-akademik, Universitas BSI juga dilengkapi dengan fasilitas olahraga yang tersedia di antaranya. Dengan dukungan teknologi informasi, proses perkuliahan secara hybrid dapat berjalan dengan baik melalui e-learning management system MyBest. Tidak hanya itu, dalam daya dukung teknologi informasi yang dimiliki oleh UBSI menghadirkan aplikasi My UBSI Student, aplikasi My UBSI Parent, dan aplikasi My UBSI Alumni memudahkan para penggunanya. Raih masa depan gemilang bersama Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika. Segera daftar di pmbubsi.id atau melalui aplikasi PMBMB UBSI. Kuliah BSI aja.
Selamat siang teman-teman. Oke, apa kabar? Baik, kehujanan nggak tadi ke sini? Kehujanan, apa-apa ya. Jadi cerita nanti ya. Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oke, masih banyak yang di belakang sambil menunggu teman-teman yang gabung ke sini. Kayaknya ini masih ada, there are two space line, so you have to come, move to the front line. So Miss Yanti have told you earlier that two space in the last row should be empty. Yang di belakang itu harus kosong, jadi dipindah ke kalian yang ada di belakang harus pindah ke depan. Oke? Atau yang baru datang silakan diisi. And we will start our seminar in a minute. But before, I will ask you to join to sing our anthem Indonesia Raya and our March BSI. So,
yang baru datang.
Nanti saat menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya, please stand up.
Yang baru datang ke depan.
Sikapnya sempurna.
Oke? Halo. Yang baru datang ke depan.
Oke.
Cepat, Mas. Baru datang.
Oke, silakan.
Ke depan.
Stand up please. We will sing our anthem Indonesia Raya, and after that, March BSI. Oke.
Big applause.
Terima
Miss Titi,
kasih.
I'm sorry, could you help me to ask them to move in the first line because there are two, or is it too full, on the last line?
For student who has seat in the last line, so please move to the front line. Because we will start the seminar in a minute. Yeah, I said before.
We still have an empty
Yeah.
seat here, please. Miss,
Okay.
who just arrived, you
Depan
just
ya,
fill in
pindah
this
ke
line,
depan.
please. Come on,
Ya.
hurry up.
Depan masih kosong sekali. Nggak enak dilihatnya.
This one.
Pindah ya, yang bersini
Oh,
pindah
that
ke depan
one.
ya.
Yes.
Nggak ada bedanya depan belakang kok. Yuk,
Please.
sama-sama ada tempat duduk ya. Ayo depan. Depan. Ayo.
Let's go. We wouldn't start our seminar, okay, if you not follow our
Ayo
instructions
depan
to
kosong.
move.
Itu udah full,
You,
depan
you
kosong.
who just arrived,
Ayo.
please fill in on that space sebelah. Penuhin sebelah sana masih banyak yang kosong. Mister lewat sini nggak apa-apa.
Oke.
Sebelah sana tuh kosong tuh.
Ya.
Oke, come
Terima
on.
kasih yang bersedia untuk pindah
Yuk,
ke depan.
Mas.
Oke teman-teman, today
Kosong.
we will have
Lewat
seminar.
sini bisa, lewat sana bisa. Come on.
Yeah, and this is our third event after we had socialization about training TOEFL test, and the second event is the training by Zoom. Yeah, for 2 weeks. Yeah, for class A, B, C, and D. And today we will have the seminar as the third event, and in the first week, yeah, I hope we will have the TOEFL test. Yeah. So first of all, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank you to our rector, Mr. Professor Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Wahyudi, MM, MCom, MPD, IPU, ICN Engineer, and our Vice Rector, first, Ms. Diah Puspitasari, MCom, our second Vice Rector, Mr. Adi Supriyatna, MCom, all the head of division, dean, head major, and all division. And not forget to say thank you to Ms. Yanti Rosalina as the head of division Lembaga Bahasa, who held this event start from the socialization until the TOEFL test. Ya, oke. Ya, di bulan November lalu kita sudah mengadakan sosialisasi tentang pelatihan tes TOEFL ini ya, masih ingat? Ya, and after that we had the training, kita pelatihan by Zoom for 2 weeks, and this is the third event, ini yang ketiga, and there is someone who really expert in TOEFL, who come and join with us to deliver her presentation about how to do the TOEFL test. She will give some tips and tricks, yeah, so you can get the best score in the TOEFL test in the next month. So please pay attention to what she deliver, yeah. Okay, and she is Miss Anissa Kania. Hello, Miss. How are you? Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Do you want to start the seminar right now? Mau dimulai langsung? Kalau mau dimulai, saya minta bantuan dong biar cepet. Ini masih kosong sekali. Ayo, biar enak dilihatnya. Okay, so and it is almost 2 o'clock. So I will give the time for Miss Kania to deliver her presentation about tips and tricks how to do the TOEFL test. Okay, Miss Kania,
Okay.
time is yours.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Anissa Kanya. I am here from, I've lived here for almost 2 years. I moved here from United States. So I am here to give you some tips and tricks on how to do the TOEFL test. So. Okay. Okay. So. Okay, so first, what is TOEFL? TOEFL So TOEFL is the test of English as a foreign language. The test is required by more than 7,000 colleges and universities and in 110 countries throughout the world. It is an internationally accepted standard of English that measures the academic English proficiently and the non-native speaker of English. So the origin of the TOEFL test is that, let's see, I'll show you the origin. Okay, so the origin of the test, it was first administered back in 1964. The purpose of the test is for academic admissions, for visa requirements, professional certifications, and language proficiency assessment. So, who uses the TOEFL test? Students who want to study further. So if you want to go internationally, you can use the TOEFL test to get the skill that you need to do the English. Academic institutions, so colleges, if you want to further your education, you can go internationally to an English-speaking country to further your education. Professional licenses and certification, so if you want to be a teacher in English or another license that requires you to have English, you can use your TOEFL scores for that, as well as government agencies, exchanges, and scholarship programs. So through scholarships, I know in America there are scholarships for international students that do take the TOEFL test and they come over with a scholarship and they do college through there in America. So, okay, so the benefits of the TOEFL test. So in the benefits, you get better at English through the courses. It's widely accepted across the world, so many countries across the world use English. So if you take this, you'll be able to go worldwide. It's conducted many times the year, so you have a good amount of opportunities to get the score you want. You can take it as many times as you need to get that proper score. The scores, so you're going to be doing paper-based. Your scores range from 310 to 677 as their highest score. The TOEFL has a slightly more and easier access to study materials as comparable to other tests. So now I'm going to get into the tips and the tricks and how to do the TOEFL test. Okay? So first, you want to get to know the format you're going to be using. So with paper-based, you have 3 sections. You have your reading, you have your listening, and then you're going to have a writing. So just basically know what you're going to be doing, how it's going to be structured, and then you'll be able to formulate how you want to do your test. Next, you're going to set a goal score. So if you ensure the best possible shots of getting accepted to where you want to go, you're going to need a good score. You need at least a 400 to pass this test. Next I'm going to say to give yourself ample time to prepare. So before you register for the test, you want to set ample time to prepare for the exam and practice your English language skills. So 3 to 6 months would be study time. would generally be suffice, but if it really all depends on your English ability and the amount of the time that you want to dedicate to your studying. If you're fairly proficient, you'll need less time as opposed to more time if you need more time to study. Okay, so you want to choose an early test day. Choosing an early test day is a good thing to do because it'll give you enough time to, if you need to retake the test, you can retake the test to get it to set school if you want to go to an international school and you need to send those grades off to them. Okay, so next is consider if you want to retake the test. So if you're not happy with your scores because you have 3 sections, say you do the 3 sections but you don't do so good on the one of them, it's not going to let you just do one section. You'll have to do the test all over again. So give yourself enough time to take it again if you need to. Okay? Personalize your study plan would be the next thing of advice. So as you're studying for the TOEFL, you're going to want to focus on what you don't know rather than what you do. Because you can go in there and know many things, but if you're sore on one subject, I advise you to practice that most, more than the other ones. So there are 3 types of common weaknesses. So there's content weakness, which means you're struggling to understand specific concepts and topics. So for example, if you struggle with vocabulary and grammar, drilling more vocabulary words and grammar patterns should eventually help raise your TOEFL score. Now, if you have a format weakness, it means you're dealing with the structure elements of the test, mainly question types. So, for instance, you're constantly getting reading to learn questions wrong. It means you need to practice more of those kinds of questions. Your strategy weakness would be the third, which it means you're having trouble with a particular approach to test-taking methods. So, for example, you might struggle with pacing yourself on a reading section. So you want to know how to take the notes effectively to listening also. So none of these sections should bring down your TOEFL score. So try to figure out what you struggle on and then practice them until your weakness is strengthened. Next, you're going to want to use high-quality resources. So there are some things online you can practice. There's a TOEFL IB interactive sampler you can take. That's an abbreviated practice test that's very similar to the actual test. So you can practice. There's a quick prep that has audio clips and things to practice with, as well as sample questions. My next one is to improve your vocabulary. So to do well on the TOEFL, you need to take a high range of English vocabulary. The best way to study vocabulary is by flashcards. So you can either make your own flashcards or you can opt for digital cards. There is a program online called Anki, which allows you to download and create and practice on those flashcards. Next, you're going to want to learn to recognize multiple answer questions. There's going to be some sections on your test, both in reading and listening, that contains multiple choice questions that have more than one correct answer. Multiple answer questions are worth 1 to 3 points, depending on a question. So always tell how many answers you need to choose. So on listening, multiple answer questions are worth 1 point each and look similar to regular multiple choice questions. But you must get all answers correct to get the credit for that question. Next, we're going to go into your general test day tips. So general test day tips. Number 1, get enough sleep and eat breakfast. I can't stress it enough. Take care of yourself because the night before the test is actually the starting of the test. So your test day tips starts the night before the test is when you have to get a good rest, wake up, eat breakfast,
Silent,
be
please.
ready,
Silent.
to take the test. So you're not up and cramming and being worn out. So eat a healthy breakfast. I know if you're nervous and you're anxious, you might lose an appetite, but you'll also lose your energy. So make sure
Silent.
you have enough nutrients to get through. Number 2 is to read all the answer choices. So on multiple choice reading and listening questions, take the time to read all of your answers choices.
Cooperate with me, okay?
Many times test takers will just skim through it and answer choices or mistakenly choose the first answer choice that looks right. But both of these habits could result in an incorrect answer.
Silent, okay?
So TOEFL is a tricky test. Many answer choices sound correct without actually being correct. So always read all of the answer choices closely before making your decision. Number 3 is to process your elimination. So if you get reading or listening questions and you don't understand them, don't guess before trying to use the process of elimination. Here's how it works. So instead of looking for the correct answer choice, you're going to look for the wrong answer choice. What doesn't make sense? What is opposite? What's not discussed? Those will automatically signal that's not the answer. So definitely do, elimination to find your correct answer. Next, you're going to take notes often and effectively. So on test day, you might have some scratch paper to take notes. In the listening section, you'll have clips where you're going to have to listen to a speaker on there, and you're going to have to take notes of what they're talking about in order to answer the correct answer, the questions. For writing, take notes, as I said, and listen to the audio clips. When you listen to those clips, take notes so you're able to answer the question. Answer every question. So there's no penalties for the wrong answer. Only the right answer is the ones that are getting graded. But if you leave too many blank, you have less chance of getting the score you want. So my advice is, of course, go through all the material, get all the things you know to complete the test. Go back if you have the time, fill in the difficult questions, at least with the elimination, because that'll give you a chance, a 25% chance of getting a correct answer to up your score. Next, you're going to want to stay calm when you take the test, because it's a long and it's a tricky exam, especially for first-timers. So you need to find ways of keeping yourself from being overwhelmed. So if you feel nervous on the morning of test day, find a quiet place to take some deep breaths. Remind yourself to do your best, and even if you don't get the score you want, you have a chance of doing the test again to get a better score. Okay? Next, I'm going to go into the reading test. So the best way of improving your reading ability is to read as many English language texts as you can. By doing this, you not only enhance your vocabulary and grammar, but also your knowledge. You'll be able to learn how arguments are structured and what ultimately makes them compelling to read. So I advise popular newspapers, journals, magazines are an excellent way, an excellent place to start. Some options would be the New York Times, the Atlantic, the Economist, Discover, and Nature. As you read, you'll be sure to understand the main point of text while the author is trying to say. You should be able to identify what kinds of transitions and organizational patterns the author uses in order to effectively present his thoughts. Next, you're going to choose a reading strategy that works well for you. Before taking your TOEFL test, you must decide on your reading strategy. There's 4 possible strategies that you can use. Number 1, read the entire passage first. Number 2 is to skim the passage, then answer the questions. 3 is answer the question paragraph by paragraph. And 4th, which is read the questions first. Now, I personally recommend the first 3 because the 4 is more time consuming. And with this test, you have very small amount of time. You have limited time. So, but I mean, if the 4th one works for you, then by all means, go ahead. But I recommend the first 3 options as the best for when you want to be time efficient. Okay? Next, I say to pace yourself. Many test takers run out of time on the reading because this section you only have 50 minutes to read everything, and you have 6 to 12 questions to answer. So you don't want to set yourself too much time on one question. You want to read everything and be able to answer the questions in so much time. Okay? Next. You want to search for evidence in the passage. So the trick of the reading is that all questions can be answered by using specific evidences in the passages. So in other words, all the information you need to answer the questions is directly in the passage. You just have to find it. So for example, if the question asks about a specific paragraph, you find that paragraph, you don't need to waste your time by continuing the reading. You found it in the passage, you found your answer, so now you can continue. Okay? Next, skip your difficult questions and then return to them later. So as I mentioned before, the best way of doing time efficient is answering everything you can answer first. Then with your leftover time, go back and then use your elimination and figure out what makes sense to you for those questions you did not answer. Next, you're going to want to double check your answers. So if you have enough time at the end of the exam, briefly double check all your answers. This way you can ensure you didn't accidentally mark a different answer choice than you originally wanted to answer. Double checking is especially helpful because it lets you look all your answer choices with fresh eyes. If you're not certain about an answer you chose, you can use this time to briefly rework the question. Go through the evidences that you originally found in the passage and check for any new evidence that you might have missed before, just in case something doesn't make sense. Next is about your listening tips. So listening, you want to watch and listen English news. One great way to improve your listening skills is to watch English language news stations such as CNN and BBC. If these stations are too difficult for you, I instead would recommend to watch another English language learner option. It's called VOA Learning English. The news clips are slightly at a slower pace, so you'd be able to listen more to a slower pace of English spoken. BBC Learning English is another helpful resource that breaks down news stories into clear steps and offers audio clips as well as definitions of relevant vocabulary words. Listen to English podcasts is another great way of your listening, because they're especially helpful because they don't use videos or transcripts to guide you, meaning you must rely entirely on your listening skills in order to understand what's being said. Also, pay close attention to replayed audio clips. So when listening, sometimes a small clip from a lecture or conversation you listen to will be replayed before you answer the particular questions. In these cases, always pay close attention of the replay clip. This is because the clip will be sure to contain answers to the questions that come after it. Okay, so now for your writing tips. Here's an example of a listening.
Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Part A. Number one. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Part A. Number one.
Are the exams corrected yet?
No, but they'll be corrected by noon.
What does the man mean? Number two.
Has Martha's visa arrived yet?
I think it arrived last month.
What does the man mean? Number three.
What did the professor do in the first class? I missed it because I was late.
She outlined the course requirements.
What does the woman mean? Number four.
How did Chuck look when you visited him in the hospital?
He's looked better.
What does the man mean? Number five.
How much was tuition increased for next month?
More than I can afford.
What does the woman mean?
No, I want to go straight to writing. No, I want just go to writing. Because this is tripping and they're not really...
Number six.
How were the grades on the history exam?
No one got above a C.
It's just because it's not...
What does the man mean?
Because of the echo, yeah.
Number 7.
You know, this is the second time this week that you've been late to class.
Okay, so what you heard was examples of what you'll be doing for your listening skill, listening TOEFL test. Now we'll be doing writing tips. So at last we're getting to the writing. My number 1 is to keep a journal. The best way to prepare yourself for the TOEFL writing is to actually write consistently in English. It's one easy way to do this is to keep a regular journal. I recommend writing in your journal at least every day or every other day to ensure you're always practicing your English composition skills. As you write, try to use an array of vocabulary and grammar, especially new words or patterns you've already learned. If you're not a fan of traditional journaling, consider creating a blog or an online journal. Practice timed writing. So in addition to keeping a journal, practice your timed writing exercises uses a high-quality writing prompt to allow you to write in a short amount of time. Your time frame, you'll be quicker to write entries once you can properly write compositions. So next, you're going to want to look at sample responses. Okay. There's several writing examples on TOEFL that will allow you to look at high-scoring, mid-scoring, and low-scoring responses. So look at both of those for integrated independent writing tasks. Memorize common transitions. So another tip to memorize transitions. Transitions are words and phrases that connect similar thoughts or indicate changes or thoughts. So on TOEFL writing, transitions make your writing sound smoother and helps your thoughts flow better. So examples. First, second, next, also, additionally are a few of the transition words you can use in your entry. Make an outline is another idea. On your test day before you begin writing your essay, it's important to take time to come up with a brief outline about what you plan to write about. So use some scratch paper, jot down 3 main points you want to discuss, as well as any key details or examples you can use to support your points. Your outline doesn't need to be super detailed. It's just pretty much to outline your thoughts of what you want to write in your actual entry. Use your time wisely. On both writing tasks, or we have one writing task for the paper, but spend most of your time actually writing out your essay. Use your time wisely. Now, for the scoring, TOEFL scoring, okay. So your scoring is as follows here. 4, you're going to be doing paper-based, the TOEFL test. Okay? So TOEFL PBT is a type of paper-based test. It has 3 sections. Each section has different numbers of questions. The total number of questions from the 3 sections is 140. So you'll have 140 questions to answer on this test. Where each section has different number of questions and scores ways, you can see the difference of numbers of the questions and score ways for each section in the tables below. So, your paper-based TOEFL scoring table. Okay. So this is your scoring table. You have your correct numbers, you have your listening, your structure and writing expression, and your reading. Okay? Okay, so here is your minimum and maximum scores. So the minimum lowest score is 310 points. The highest score is 677 points. You need at least a 400 to pass this test. So say you have in between, say you got a 400, you got the lowest score. You're at an elementary level proficiency level. Then you have 420 to 480 is low intermediate. 480 to 520 is a high intermediate. And then 520 to 677 is advanced level. So how do they figure the score? So how you get your score is you add the sum of all three sections. They times it by 10 and divide it by 3, and it'll be within that range. That's how they score your test. So there is that is the scoring. So summarize the recap. You're going to get to know everything there's to know on your test, your understanding of how it works, and where's your limitations, what do you need to study, and so forth. Study diligently and consistently to practice your weaknesses, get better at them so you can pass, and then have confidence in your test day strategies on the day of. Okay? Stay optimistic and be confident. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Nisa. Okay, after listening to Miss Nisa's tips and tricks, do you still remember what are the tips and tricks? Tadi kan Miss Nisa sudah menyampaikan tips and tricksnya. Masih ingat nggak tips and triknya? Masih? Oke, kita join Kali ya, Miss ya?
Kali, wait a minute. I
Yeah.
talk to Kali first. Perhaps you may open the question and answer session with
Okay.
all the participants in the beginning. It's okay.
Okay, in our schedule there is a student of Isma Wardi, yeah, that will join us by Zoom, and she will share about her experience in Barcelona. Do you still remember one of the Isma Wardi, Safa Kalista? Kan tahun kemarin dari BSI itu mengirimkan 3 awardee. Yang pertama Safa Kalista ke Barcelona, kedua Adam Daweris ke Korea, yang ketiga Akmal ke Polandia. Nah, nanti kalau seandainya tidak berhalangan, Kalista akan join bersama kita di Zoom. Okay.
I'm sorry, Safa is already on our Zoom. Hello, Safa.
Okay, there is Safa. Kalista.
Well, okay, you might start with Safa.
Okay. Halo Safa.
Halo Miss Titi.
Halo.
Hello, am I audible?
I can't hear your voice, Safa.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
It's already. Okay, how are you doing, Safa?
I'm doing amazing, Miss Titi. Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you. Okay, ya, di sini kita lagi ada seminar about tips and trick how to do the TOEFL test. And this is Miss Anissa Kanya. Yeah, you have already greet her in a morning session. Okay, now we are in the question and answer session. Okay, teman-teman, kita masuk ke question and answer session. Jadi teman-teman yang mau bertanya ke Miss Nisa seputar tips dan trik yang tadi mungkin kan agak sedikit ada echo tadi, terus kalian juga ada yang asik sendiri, jadi ada suara-suara hingar gitu. Mungkin mau langsung bertanya ke Miss Kania atau mau tanya ke Kalista, gimana sih kok bisa sampai tembus di ISMA Wordy saat mengerjakan tes bahasa Inggris ya. Oke, silakan yang ingin bertanya. Just raise your hands and some of us will come to you and give the mic. Siapa yang mau bertanya, angkat tangan, nanti bisa tanya langsung ke Miss Nisa atau ke Kali. Oke?
Okay.
Silakan.
We open question and answer session. If you have a question, raise your hand, please.
Mungkin
Relate with all the information that Mrs. Nisa already shared to all of you. Or you wanna have a question to Salva?
ya,
Raise your hand.
mungkin kalian
Anyone?
yang lagi semester 5 sekarang, yang program S1 masih ada satu kesempatan ya untuk join di program ISMA. Jadi ISMA itu kan dibuka nanti di bulan Januari. Sekarang ya, di bulan ini sekitar pertengahan sampai awal Februari. Nah, mungkin mau nanya ke Kalista, gimana sih, kan juga pengen ngerasain belajar di luar, free pula. Ya, semuanya full fun. Dibiayai semua dari mulai biaya kuliah, kemudian biaya hidup, semua. Iya Kalista ya, semua ya. Full funding ya. Tuh.
Ada yang mau bertanya?
Gimana di sana Kalista? Kesannya di Barcelona?
Seru sih Miss, pokoknya kayak bisa belajar, merasakan culture belajar di negara orang tuh kayak privilege banget sih gitu.
Sempat merasakan culture shock?
Kalau lumayan tapi nggak terlalu yang gimana-gimana banget sih Miss.
Oke. Lumayan tapi nggak terlalu. Berarti masih oke ya. Kayaknya yang lain yang semester 3 itu berarti punya kesempatan untuk mencoba ISMA dua kali. Kalau seandainya semester 5 belum goal, bisa di semester 7 nanti. Yang semester 5 masih bisa semester 7 ya. Kalau nanti kita di bulan Januari ini ya Miss ya, nanti akan ada tentang ISMA di kampus Kramat. Atau mau mendengar langsung dari wordy-nya gimana nih gitu ya. Kan kalau wordy-nya sudah lolos, pengen juga merasakan, karena ada untuk tesnya itu ada pakai Duolingo atau TOEFL. Bisa bertanya tentang untuk TOEFL ke Miss Nisa. Seremoninya, ayo mumpung loh. Iya, belum tentu kalian bisa ketemu Miss Nisa lagi atau bisa merasakan kesempatan ini bertanya langsung ke expertnya.
Is there any question, guys? Hello, guys, are you there? Hello. Thank you for the answer. Okay, perhaps I have a question to Shafa. Okay, Shafa. For the preparation, before you are joining with the ISMA, you do the test of the English one, right? Okay, could you tell us here about all the preparation, okay, in the way you are doing the ISMA program from the beginning? Okay, and then how the importance of English for you and for all the students here who want to join the ISMA's program. Could you answer that question, please, briefly? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Miss Yanti, thank you for the question. Well, for the preparation, I did quite a lot of preparation for my ISMA program. I have to create an essay. I also have to do like an interview with the ISMA team. But like one of the most important thing is that I have to do an English proficiency test. It's like TOEFL, IELTS, and in my case, I used Duolingo for my ISMA program. And for the preparation itself, I think the most important thing is that you have to understand the basic English first, because after that you can maybe like look up some of the material online. Like in my case, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to nail like the Duolingo English test, and after that, I also did a lot of practices for my English proficiency test, because I have to get myself familiar with the test. Therefore, I think that I can like get the score that I wanted. So yeah, that's all like for the preparation. And about the importance of English, even though I went to a country that is like not an English speaking country, I might say that English is like very important still, because even though like for my daily life in Barcelona, there a lot of people still use Spanish or Catalan, but for studying, I use mainly English because I joined the international class there. Therefore, like all of my material, all of my lectures are conducted in English. So yeah, and I think not only for studying, but nowadays I think English is like really important in like every field, every aspect. So I think it's really important for us to get ourselves like familiar on how to communicate in English.
Okay, indeed. The same way. Okay. So for skill English is really important, right? Yeah. What I mentioned here is really important for all the students learning about the listening, the structure, the reading, and also writing. And I take the underline also about Miss Nisa explanation. Perhaps Safa also listening, right? About the learning about reading, because reading is really hard for all the students who not loves to read. Okay, how to get the understanding about the passage, learning about the text. Perhaps Miss Nisa wanna share again to our students how to get fast understanding when learning about reading.
Okay. So, is this on? So, okay.
What they need to do, the preparation when they are learning about reading.
Oh, when they're learning about reading?
Yes.
So, okay. The best thing to do is first get what you are interested in reading. Get something that you're interested in reading, and then read all the text. Record yourself reading the text, because then you can hear how you're saying the words, which will allow you to see, okay, maybe I need to improve on the pronunciation of these said words. And if you keep practicing that way, it will help you with your fluency.
Okay, so while we are learning about reading, we're also learning about how to pronounce it.
Correct.
How to speak, how to speaking.
What the words that you're putting into your sentence, and how you can make it sound more fluent and not like a chopped sentence.
Okay, thank you so much. So, kita bisa tarik kesimpulan di sini saat kita belajar reading, kita tidak hanya belajar membaca, tapi kita juga belajar how to pronounce it, in the fluently, ya kan? Bagaimana kita memahami sebuah teks tersebut, dari structure grammarnya juga bisa kita dapatkan. But the important thing that you are already explained to all the students from your presentation is about the vocabulary, right?
Vocabulary, yeah.
Yeah, so it's important for all the students who want to learn about English, learning about vocabulary, ya Miss ya?
Which you get out of text.
Yes.
Reading newspapers, books, anything.
Anything, references not only from the the Zoom in the practice one, but also so many references that the students can find can look up to, ya Miss ya.
Also, they can, if they watch a movie in English, put the subtitles on.
Okay.
Because you can hear and you can see and read what is being said. And then that way, if they see what's going on, they'll put together what the words are saying, what it's meaning, and that too will also help with.
Okay, thank you so much for the explanation. Thank you so much, Safa. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for today and joining with us. Good well. I'll see you. Assalamualaikum. Okay, Miss Siti, perhaps you have a question to Miss Nisa regarding about the presentation.
Miss Nisa, I want to ask a question. For example, I do not like to hear music, listening music, and I'm a little bit introvert person. Yeah, I have no time to speak English with many people at my home. So is there any tips and tricks how to improve my listening skills?
Listening skills.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't like to listen to music or listening to conversation.
Okay.
The introvert one, I think.
Yeah.
So if you don't like listening to music, you can listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
You can listen to the news.
No.
You can listen.
My gosh.
You could listen to native speakers speaking.
No.
my gosh.
But there is someone maybe who like me. I really enjoying reading, and my focus is only on structure.
Okay, so what about an audiobook?
Pardon?
Audiobook. If you like to read,
Yeah,
so
book.
get an audiobook.
Comic.
You can listen to an audiobook.
No.
What?
Textbook.
Textbook.
Yeah.
But you want to listen to it, correct?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for me.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
Or maybe you have tips how to speak English well. So I can improve my listening. Yeah, while I can improve my speaking, I can improve my listening.
okay.
So is there any
So-
tips?
Okay. Well, one of my advice is if you, like I said before, if you record yourself reading, you can listen to you reading,
Oh, see.
and that way that will, you could hear how you're saying what's being said, and that would be a way of listening and
Okay.
reading.
Ya, thank you, Miss.
Oke.
Nah, teman-teman, jadi kalau ada di antara kalian nggak suka terlalu dengerin musik, karena kan tidak semua orang suka denger musik ya. Mungkin kalau nonton film masih oke. Terus kalau ngomong itu kadang di depan atau dalam hati itu bisa kayaknya lancar aja gitu. Tapi when we face to face for people, kayaknya udah langsung go blank gitu. Nah, Miss Nisa have already give about the tips ya. Jadi mulai kalau suka baca, terus nanti sambil di-record suara kalian. Di-record, didengerin sambil improve your speaking skills. Nanti juga akan terbiasa seperti itu ya. Karena memang mungkin ada teman-teman yang saya lebih fokusnya ke listening, saya ke structure dan saya ke reading. Ya, tapi jangan sampai saya mau fokus saya hanya di structure, belajar structure aja. Enggak. Karena harus memiliki skill yang lainnya juga untuk bisa dapatkan nilai yang sempurna di EPT, English Proficiency Test kalian ya. Jadi suka nggak suka, you have to master, you have to You have to improve your English skill gitu ya.
So many tips and tricks, right, for today?
Yes.
Yes, you wanna learn
Especially
about
for me.
listening? Yeah. You wanna learn
Don't overwhelm
listening?
you.
Yeah. One of that is podcast, right?
Podcast.
Yeah, just listening podcast. That's good for listening one.
That
Yeah,
is
kan?
good,
To practice your hearing also, to get used to hear about the English pronunciation. We have so many dialects, but usually when you are doing the practice or the TOEFL test, this is the British one, right? About the TOEFL test, and you should get used to. Jadi intinya adalah sebelum tes kita nanti latihan di rumah, not only from the practice one that you are doing with us lembaga bahasa di dalam Zoom kemarin, but so many references yang tadi Miss Nisa share juga ya Miss ya. di dalam presentasinya. Kalian bisa googling so many question ya, audio-audio berbahasa Inggris, kuping kalian dengarkan, focusing about, dalam audio tadi berbicara mengenai apa? Tadi specific time-nya dia bicara seperti apa, seperti itu. When you wanna learn about reading, cari teks-teks berbahasa Inggris, paraphrasing dengan bahasa yang kalian pahami, vocabulary-nya tolong ditingkatkan, increasing and improving. Dengan cara apa? Cari meaning-meaningnya. Do not need to translate it for the whole context. Why you don't have much time when you are doing the reading test. Right, Rabit?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
That's very time consuming.
Yes, because you just only have 55 minutes to do 50 questions. So, hanya 1 menit lebih sedikit untuk 1 soal. If you try to translate it for the whole text, you don't have much time for the reading. Caranya gimana? Nah, persiapan kalian, tips dan trik yang tadi diberikan sudah sangat jelas sekali. Nanti kita share materinya di grup akun Telegram ya. Tips dan triknya tolong dipraktekkan di rumah for your preparation before the test. Miss Titi mungkin bisa langsung ditutup kegiatan. Is there any question di Zoom session ya? Halo teman-teman yang di Zoom, are you there? Tidak ada suaranya karena di Zoom. Apakah ada pertanyaan?
Silakan bertanya, jangan sampai sudah saya acara baru baru kepikiran, nanti Telegram saya bunyi terus nih. Miss ini gitu. Jadi makanya banyak yang komplain kok nggak dijawab chat di Telegram, bukannya nggak dijawab. Peserta antri. Ada 3 ribuan, itu kalau chat ke saya semua ya.
Karena yang menjawab antrian, menjawab chat Miss Titi ya, saya jarang menjawab chat, jadi jangan chat saya. Pasti akan lama sekali jawabnya. So many tasks that I need to do. I'm so sorry ya. Kalau saya semua nggak kepegang. Yang jawab ada Miss Titi, Miss Shirley, dan Mr. Yusuf. Ya. Lepas dari saya kalau chat. Is there any question in the Zoom? Before we are close our session, the second session in this afternoon. Is there any question? Pak Sule, is there any question? None? No. Miss Titi, perhaps you may close this session. Yes.
Because there is no any question from all of you in this place and in the Zoom, so I will close the seminar. Before I close, saya mau dokumentasi dulu, ya. So please stand up.
We are doing dokumentasi dulu ya. We are doing documentation together. I need you to stand up. Of course, you're standing on a chair also. Standing up.
Miss Shirley, Mr. Yusuf, so would you like to join
kita
us?
Foto bersama dulu sebelum kita tutup kegiatan kita pada siang hari ini. Silakan berdiri terlebih dahulu untuk masing-masing barisan yang ada di depan kami.
Please stand up. Miss Shirley, Mr. Yusuf. Shirley, Yusuf, ada?
Kita tunggu terlebih dahulu.
Yusuf?
Sudah? Sebentar, I need someone help to getting the picture, please.
Ini juga boleh, Miss.
Handphone yang quite a bit is good.
Iya, ini aja.
Yusuf, Mr. Yusuf, you stay here, please. Mr. Adi yang taking the picture. Minta tolong sama siapa? Mana? Kita fotoin. Kita foto dulu. Kelihatan semuanya. Agak maju, Miss Nisa, I'm sorry. Could you come up for a little bit? Guys, give your best smile to the someone in front of you on the stage. I will count until 3 ya. 1, 2, 3. Is it done? Kelihatan tidak, Pak? Oh, Bapak yang aba-abain dari depan. Oke. 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 Oke, guys, lihat lagi ke depan. Oke, bebas. Oke, video ya, terakhir. Oke, tagline Besi apa? Kuliah. Oke, good. Loader ya, langsung tepuk tangan. Yuk, semuanya berdiri ya, kita videoin. Nanti saya akan share di grup akun Telegram. Halo. Nggak usah, nggak muat. Oke, berdiri dulu. Could you help me to stand up yang belakang karena kelihatan dari depan kalau tidak berdiri. Guys, stand up please for a while. Okay, I want to do our tagline and doing the video and I will share in our Telegram account. Okay, yang di belakang tolong berdiri karena terlihat dari depan. Okay, doing the video tagline guys. Okay, ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Kuliah. Woo! Okay, thank you so much. Langsung tutup.
Thank you teman-teman. Oke, untuk kalian kan sekarang lagi masa seminar ya, nanti yang untuk kelas, maaf, untuk teman-teman tanggal 8 dan 9. Jadi nanti untuk tes TOEFL-nya itu di awal Februari. Jadi dilaksanakan setelah kalian UAS. Jadi kalian bisa fokus dulu ke UAS, nanti ada jeda waktu 1 atau 2 minggu baru kita tes TOEFL-nya. Ya, jangan sampai keluar grup dulu atau tidak membaca grup. Kalau kemarin-kemarin kan banyak yang saya misinformasi gitu. Saya nggak buka grup. Jadi kalau untuk ujian ini, please selalu standby di Telegram kalian dibunyi langsung buka ya. Jangan sampai ke skip lagi karena akan ribet ke belakangnya, ke depannya. Oke? Terima kasih untuk hari ini. Hati-hati di jalan, kita ketemu lagi nanti. Oke, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya. Thank you. Hati-hati ya.